Uh-oh, a bad situation just happened. Your Facebook ad account has been disabled. What should you do? What are the precautions that you can take to hopefully, first of all, get that account back? But what are some other steps that you can do? Now, I want to back up real quick and talk about some precautions to prevent this from happening and explain in what two situations this will happen pretty much no matter what. So a lot of stuff that goes on with the ad accounts, it gets complex. Let me make it simple for you. Your ad account will almost guaranteed get disabled at two different points. Number one, when you're probably a couple weeks into spending and you're really starting to increase your spending quick. So Facebook's going to give you a daily spending limit, probably $250 a day to start. You hit that every single day for 4 or 5 days, request a certain way, kind of what we talk about inside of the Ecom season Facebook ad program, and what you're going to get is access to $5,000 a day in spending. From there, you can keep getting it increased. And I'll tell you, when you start increasing it quickly to that limit of $5,000 a day, you're going to get, it's what's basically called a security check, but they do disable your ad account. And what you have to do is reach out via their support. They're immediately going to hit you back with some BS automated message. Like, it'll be within 60 seconds. You have to reply again and tell them you would like to talk to a real person, explain your reasoning, ask why it got disabled. Now, obviously, if you're doing some shady stuff that's against their terms of service or selling a fake product or whatever, then yeah, you might not get it back. But you can pretty easily get it back if you're getting disabled out of nowhere. So just keep being pushy, keep message, say, always be positive, always be like, hey, like, no big hurry, but just please let me know. Like, I know we didn't violate any policies. Be open and very clear about that. So just understand that as you're starting to scale, and then that second level when you're really up there and spending, like spending 30, 40, 50,000 a day, it's kind of a conspiracy theory I have. I believe that they disable ad accounts just so that they can re-enable them. And what happens is they'll re-enable it later in the day. So let's say you're spending, this happened to me, you're spending $30,000 a day. I was spending like 35. And they re-enable the ad account after disabling it for no good reason at 8 p.m. Okay, so they re-enable it towards the end of the day, and so there's 4 hours left. Well, Facebook, of course, this is my belief, is that they do this on purpose. They quickly spend inside those 4 hours your full $35,000 budget. And I'll tell you, your ads do not perform the same when they go back live like that. So you'll usually probably lose about a third. So I lost like $10,000 that day, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no sort of disputing you can do. I believe personally, from my experience, they do that for that reason. Now, as for what you should do if you get disabled and say you can't get it back, that can definitely happen. Some simple solutions. I personally buy Facebook accounts from friends. I don't really use family personally, but friends, people I know. There's also services you can do to purchase them online, but I always think it's better if you know the person. Go to your friends, say, hey, I'll give you $100 if you let me use your Facebook account. It's not going to affect your personal account at all. It's not going to bother you. You can turn off the notifications for the personal side of things so that you don't see their stuff and they don't see yours. It doesn't affect their personal at all in any way. And hey, they just made $100. Simple solution, that's what I do. Some people ask for a more complex solution. There's not really one. You know, I did spend about $65,000 to set up what I currently do right now with my Facebook ad accounts by having multiple servers, proxies, IPs, running all that off of different things that are basically jumping all around the world throughout our servers, so that when I am traveling, I don't get disabled. That's another thing that can happen. If you randomly switch your location, this happened to me the first time when I went to China and then Bali about 3 years ago. By the time I got to my villa in Bali and I was starting a 4-month travel trip, all my Facebook ad accounts were disabled the second I connected to Wi-Fi. Never got them back. I lost huge ad accounts that were making all of my money, lost my Facebook ad groups, pretty much everything. So just understand that when you're traveling, you can probably run into some issues like that. So, you know, just be aware of that, and you know, it's just something that can happen. So being disabled, there are ways around it. Just understand that if you do get disabled and you can't get it back, definitely start another ad account. I would recommend purchasing one from a friend, or you can try to open another one in your name, but it usually doesn't go very well. So they'll eventually start to track things like credit cards and stuff like that, and we can get more in depth on all the specifics, but you know, eventually you're probably just gonna have issues. It's just a matter of time. Even if you're running everything completely legit by their rules, they just they've gotten very strict. So unless you've been running ads for 5 to 10 years, you're probably gonna have problems at some point. So hopefully that answers the question from Justin on just kind of some interesting things about your Facebook ad account being disabled, getting it re-enabled, creative options, and stuff like that. So hopefully you got some value out of this video. I know this is something where if even something as simple as this would have been available, it would have sped up my process of getting new ad accounts, and that would have made me probably another I don't even like to throw around numbers, but I mean hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in missed revenue from having so many issues with Facebook, even though I violate none of their policies. So welcome to advertising on Facebook. There's always going to be some BS drama going on, so get used to it. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions in the comment section down below. Make sure to smash a like on this video. Feel free to reference some of the resources linked in the description. We go more in depth inside of our program on disabled ad accounts, creative solutions, stuff like that, as well as how to avoid, just based on your strategy of spending, how to avoid getting disabled in the first place, and then obviously how to run ads and make a ton of money. So be sure to check that out, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.